So many exciting things were happening around this time in May 3 years ago. My oldest son Al turned 19 on May 17th, 2016. He asked for 2 cakes that year. I remember him saying he just couldn't pick a favorite. So that's what we did. We had 2 different cheesecakes and celebrated as a family like normal. Just 4 short days later, on May 21st, 2016, I heard the words that no mother should ever hear. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but your son is gone," and he took his own life. This wasn't supposed to happen. Not to me, not to my family, not my son. You see the words depressed, sad, withdrawn? None of these words would I use to describe Al. He was lovable, goofy, some might even say a class clown. My son Alfred? Well, he was unique, and not in a weird or a bad way. I realized early on that my son learned a little differently. I just didn't know until years later why. At the age of 9, I like to call the medical profession that, they diagnosed my son with Asperger's disorder, a high-functioning form of autism. They didn't tell me anything that I, as his mother, already didn't know. It was just then I was able to talk the medical lingo and fight for the things that my son needed. Having Asperger's wasn't who Al was, yet it was part of him. Just like some people have a fear of heights, anxiety, or a favorite color. Al did have a very literal or a black and white way of thinking. This led to what are now known as classic Alfred moments. But there were also great learning moments for both of us. Al loved to help out in the kitchen. It was very common if I was working late for him to heat up or start dinner for me. One such night, around the age of 15, I left Al what I thought were detailed instructions. Preheat oven to 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. Put pizzas on a cookie sheet and cook for 12 to 15 minutes. You guys can eat. I'll be home later. I get home and I'm greeted with a, "Hi, Mom. How was your day? I left the pizza out in case you wanted some." I get to the kitchen to find the cooked pizza. I immediately yell, "Oh, Al, you left the pizza on the cardboard. You could have burnt the house down." Before I can get fully into my mom rant, I am again greeted by Al. This time he's pointing and tapping a piece of paper. Your note didn't say that. That was it. I knew he won. There was no arguing. I learned so many different things from my son. I learned to write and speak exactly what I mean. I learned to view the world through a different set of eyes. Most of all, I learned. I am still learning. I realized I myself, like so many others, really don't talk about suicide unless it happened to someone we knew or someone famous. This is why, at least for me and my family, we talk about it now. Because I want you all to know more than anything, it's okay to talk about it. It's not just okay to talk about suicide, but it's okay to not be okay. One of my biggest struggles is that I just didn't know my son was feeling this way. He didn't talk about it. I never got to finish planning my son's graduation party. Instead, we had to plan his funeral service. This led to the even bigger question of why. I know my why will forever remain unanswered. Because even if I was given a list of 100 reasons why, I would have 1,000 more reasons I could have given him to stay. After losing Al and feeling lost myself, I didn't know what to do with all of the thoughts and feelings I had. This is why I started to write them down. Then I started to blog my thoughts. I realized I wasn't alone. Writing has not only helped me express how I feel, but it helps me bring my son with me. So I will continue to write and bring him with me on my journey through life. I thank you all for letting me share a little of my son Alfred with you. But I thank you even more for listening and letting me talk with you today.